Having a plan for leftovers can always be a problem, at least at my house. It's either we eat them the original way they were served, or they get stuck in the freezer and may never reappear. So having that plan ahead of time can really help you out. It also helps you out from a food safety standpoint, because if you're not going to be eating it right away, and maybe not within 3 to 4 days, it shouldn't be sitting in your refrigerator any longer than that. So making sure that you rotate things out of the refrigerator, either consuming them or storing them properly in the freezer, is going to be a real big advantage. So today I'm going to do a turkey divan, and this could be with leftover holiday turkey. It could also be with chicken, which is what I'm actually using today. So we have a chicken masquerading as a turkey. I'm also using what would or could be leftover broccoli. Now I've got 2 cups of broccoli here that might have been left over from Thanksgiving or Christmas or just another nice meal, and that because it's left over, it's already cooked, and so we just need to put it into an 8x8 pan that you've treated with a nonstick spray or brushed with a little bit of vegetable oil. If you are using frozen broccoli, then you're going to want to thaw it. Don't cook it all the way because it's going to go into the oven. It's going to cook a little bit more. So this, if you're cooking broccoli so that it's just to the tender crisp stage and serving it, this is going to be perfect as it is, and still will continue to soften in the oven, but it will still be fine. The next thing I'm going to be using is 2 cups of somewhat chopped poultry. And as I said, this is chicken, but we're pretending it's turkey for our purposes today. It's just going to go on top. And I've cut it up a little bit, more because it's easier to get out of the pan if it's broken up somewhat than if it's in great big pieces. This is going to serve somewhere between 4 to 6 people, depending on how hungry they are. So this is going to make it easier to serve more than anything. Next thing I'm going to do is something I don't do often on the program, but I'm going to use a canned soup mix. Now this is a cream of mushroom soup. If you wanted to, you could use the standard variety. I'm using one of the healthier versions, but whichever one you have is okay. I'm also going to use mayonnaise to it, and I'm going to use the light mayonnaise. Again, we're trying to cut down the amount of fat just a little bit. Whenever you use a canned soup, you have to watch out for the sodium content of them. And with some of the other things we have here, there's also sodium coming in from those for the breadcrumbs, the margarine, and so on. So using the lighter version may be a good choice for you as well. Also to this, that was half a cup of a light mayonnaise. I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of curry powder, which is what really takes it away from that traditional Thanksgiving meal flavor of the leftover, because you have that additional culture coming in there, and it just is really, to me, it's always such a sweet, spicy smell that I really enjoy it. Mix those together well, and then you're just going to try and spread them as evenly as you can over the top of the turkey. Let me get another implement here so I can make sure I get it all out of there. Oh, it really smells great just right now. I've always loved the smell of curry, and this was actually the first real way that I learned to enjoy curry as a powder. All right. Next layer, I've got a cup of sharp cheese. Now you could use a reduced fat version of cheese if you chose. I'm using 1 cup. If you're using sharp, you could actually cut that down just a little bit as well, because it's going to give you a lot of cheese flavor. And the last thing we're going to do is I've melted 2 tablespoons of margarine, and I have basically 1 slice of bread that I've put through the blender to make nice crumbs with it. Now this calls for breadcrumbs, and one of the questions always comes up. It says breadcrumbs. Are they asking for dried or fresh? In this one, we're actually asking for fresh breadcrumbs. And then these are going to go sprinkled over the top, and they're going to brown up. This is going to go in a preheated 375-degree oven for about 30 minutes. You may want to check on it from time to time, make sure the breadcrumbs aren't getting a little bit too dark. And I think you're really going to enjoy this one when it comes out. Again, you could do 2 of these at one time and put 1 in the freezer. It would keep in the freezer for around 3 to 4 months. If you put the turkey in the freezer, it's only going to keep a month or 2 unless you put some kind of a broth along with it or a gravy. So keep that in mind too. Even though you've put it in the freezer, it's not eternal life in there. It's just a temporary extension, so to speak. Again, $3.75, 30 minutes. And there you have it. Looks beautiful, smells terrific. I can smell the curry. If you've got a few minutes, what I would recommend is that you let it sit for 5 or 10 minutes so that things have time to solidify a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and serve us up a nice serving here. See, it's beautiful. It's got everything anybody could possibly want. If you've got cheese lovers, turkey lovers, everything is there. Great use of leftovers in a nutritious, healthy way. I hope you'll give this one a try. It's Turkey Divan. For Oklahoma Gardening, I'm Barbara Brown.